Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be talking about Halloween Ends, the recent Halloween sequel to date, and supposedly the final one in the series. After the last two new Halloween sequels being hit or miss or mediocre mixed reaction from fans, you ask yourself, how much worse or dumber can this series get? We'll dive into that in today's video. But before I start, here's one way of describing this movie. Everything that guy said is bullshit. Halloween 2018 was alright, it was not perfect, but it did not try too hard like this movie did. It had its okay moments. The psychiatrist being obsessed with Michael Myers and being the bad guy was not necessary. Halloween Kills, I was in the mix on it. I liked the 1978 flashback scene, but after a while I got bored of seeing the same format and cliches all over again that I've already seen done already in the past Halloween series. I did not like the part when the Mobtown group accidentally killed a mental patient, mistaken thinking that he was Michael Myers. I mean, come on. The guy was not even close to Michael Myers. It sucks that Jamie Lee Curtis was not in the last movie that much and had little screen time. It was also a mess and all over the place with too much going on and hard to keep up with. You needed a scorecard. Jamie Lee Curtis does have more screen time in this movie, but sadly it's a letdown, and she does not save the movie. And now you imagine iconic screen queen playing Laurie Strode one more time. This movie was not a way for Jamie Lee Curtis to go on a high note as Laurie Strode. And just like Halloween Kills, this one also tried way too hard. It was also the kind of movie that felt lazy and had no idea what they were doing and not giving the series a proper justice finale. This is also the kind of movie I asked myself, what the heck did I just watch? To me, they should have just made one movie and ended with Halloween 2018. That would have been a proper finale to the series. But we know studios are greedy, and they tried too hard pushing their luck thinking they could top the last movie, and boy are they so wrong on that one. Instead of this movie being about Michael Myers being the main focus of this movie, instead it's about this guy Corey, who babysits a kid named Jeremy. To be honest, the kid he babysits is kind of annoying and a brat. Corey accidentally kills the kid on Halloween night while he was babysitting him. Basically babysitting gone wrong. Jeremy locked him in a closet door, Corey kicked the door hitting Jeremy, and he fell off the balcony of the stairs. The parents come at the moment when Corey accidentally kills Jeremy. 4 years later, after the accident, he works a regular job as a car mechanic, trying to live his life, but he lives every day with guilt over the accident. People are mean to him, insulting to him, making up fake rumors about him that are not true, thinking that he's a killer and a bad person. When you think about it, Corey had no motive for the murder. It was just an accident. Corey gets bullied by teenagers because he refuses to buy them beer because they are not legal drinking age. Also, it's illegal. They also bully him knowing what he did. He cuts his hand breaking his chocolate milk glass by accident. Laurie saves his life. She asks him to stab the car tires for payback. She takes him to the ER, hooks Corey with her granddaughter. Despite hooking up with his granddaughter, later in this movie, Laurie sees the evil inside of Corey, and she tells Corey to stay away from Allison. Later in the movie, when Corey and Michael kill the teenagers at his job at the car mechanics, this felt like something from Christine or Maximum Overdrive. They were basic, annoying, cliche teenage characters. I remember when this movie came out, people were making memes comparing Corey's character to Arnie from Stephen King and John Carpenter's film adaptation of Christine. Just like Arnie, a nice guy, then his personality changes after buying the car. The only difference is Christine is a much better movie than this, and I wish I was talking about a John Carpenter movie over this piece of garbage. After seeing Jeremy's mom at a Halloween party, she hates and despises Corey for still trying to have a fun life while she lives with grief every day that her son is gone, despite it was an accident, but the mom does not see it that way. Corey runs away. Corey falls in the sewers and finds Michael Myers in an underground sewer. It felt like Pennywise in Stephen King's Ed, but in a bad Stephen King movie. This character was so cliched and outsider to the town of Haddonfield after accidentally killing the kid. Michael looks into his eyes of Corey, seeing his pain and trauma, that he could be a killer one day like Michael Myers. It's weird how Corey, I guess you would say, gets training from Michael Myers, how to be a killer. And Michael Myers is passing the torch to Corey, that Corey will be the new killer one day. This makes no sense to me. It makes no sense how Michael and Corey are connected, how Michael takes him under his wing and helps him, basically trains him like the Karate Kid, Rocky, or Star Wars. When Michael and Corey kill Allison's ex-boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend kicks Michael to the ground and Corey has to help Michael Myers. My guess is Michael is waiting someone to help him kill for him. Again, this makes no sense. Since when is Michael Myers a weak killer? Corey explains to Allison how the kid died by accident. They grow closer.
If I hold you any closer, I'll be in the back of you.
And he basically turns Allison against her grandmother and makes her turn to the dark side, lets her into his world. Laurie Strode wrote a book on the Halloween massacres and how she survived the Michael Myers attacks. The people of Haddonfield blame and hate Laurie Strode for the Michael Myers massacre events from 2018. She comes out of a grocery store, smiling after a nice chit-chat with Sheriff Hawkins, and this woman says to her, "Why are you smiling?" She says, "Look at my sister. Michael Myers killed her husband and stabbed her in the neck, and she can't speak." When Laura sees how the woman can't speak and is being insulted, she does not stand up for herself, saying, "I understand. I've encountered Michael Myers in the past." People hate and blame Laura, thinking that she wanted this to happen, and why she didn't let Michael Myers stay locked up because of her hysteria from the past against Michael Myers. One thing I know is that people have pointed out about Laurie in this movie, she doesn't seem to have grief or depressed over the loss of her daughter who got killed by Michael Myers at the end of Halloween Ends in the last movie. One would think that her daughter died in the last movie. We would have seen Laurie sad, depressed, and have grief that her daughter is gone. How hard it is for a parent to lose a child. But no, Laurie seems alright in this movie. Seeing Laurie Strode bake a pie in the house she lives in looks like something out of a Hallmark movie. Michael Myers has been missing the last couple of years since the last attack on Halloween night 2018. How strange that around this time, Jamie Lee Curtis made a bad Halloween sequel, and a few months later she won the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Laurie's granddaughter Allison had a strange distant relationship from her grandmother after her mother's death in Halloween Kills. She misses her mom and dad and her friends. She semi had a relationship with some police officer. There's not much of an arc to this. She develops romantic feelings for Corey. Allison was trying to get a promotion at her job, but she did not get it. Instead, one of her co-workers got the promotion because she was dating the doctor. Corey and Michael Myers killed the nurse and the doctor, but no one gave a shit about these characters' death. We knew they were going to die. We're just another kill count for Michael Myers. As I said in my Halloween 2018 Kills video, here's another reference and homage to the first movie. Michael Myers kills the nurse the same way he killed Bob in the first Halloween movie. He stabs her and she hangs. Michael Myers tilts his head. Again, the first movie did that better. Another homage when Laura looks out the window and sees Corey. At this point in the new Halloween series, I'm getting burnt out and tired of too many homages to the past franchises. Just do something different, create new scenes. Allison feels she's being held back and overprotected by her grandmother. Corey makes Allison turn against her grandmother, and Corey manipulates Allison. She blames her grandmother for what happened a few years ago. I'm not sure how this makes sense. When Corey babysits the kid, they are watching The Thing remake on TV, a reference to the original Halloween movie. This time it's reversed. In the original Halloween, when Tommy and Lindsay are watching The Thing from Another World, it was a tribute from John Carpenter, who loved the original The Thing from Another World, that inspired him to be a filmmaker, and it scared him as a kid. Now this movie is paying tribute to John Carpenter's The Thing remake, a tribute within a tribute. Nick Castle's a cameo in this movie, not wearing the mask. In the first Halloween movie, despite Nick Castle playing Michael Myers through most of the movie, he did not do the unmasking scene. Instead, it was Tony Moran. I highly doubt that was a joke for this movie. Nick Castle got his off-mask cameo. When I met Nick Castle, I told him how I liked his off-mask cameo. If you listen closely, he quotes a line from the first Halloween movie saying to Corey, "You see anything I like?" When Michael kills Bob, pretends to be a ghost in disguise, and Linda, played by PJ Souls, flashed her tits at Michael Myers. Laurie shoots Corey thinking he was Michael Myers because he was wearing his mask, setting up a trap, making it look like she committed suicide. Then Corey stabbed himself in the neck, killing himself. Allison walks in and blames her grandmother. Then Laurie cries, feeling guilty shooting Corey, despite it was self-defense. Corey was not dead. Instead, Michael Myers kills him. Unlike Michael Myers, who was invincible, Corey's not invincible. I know, I'm overthinking this too much. When I was rewatching this movie for a second viewing for this video, my brain shut off, did not care. I had a hard time being invested in this movie. It's boring, junk, bland, forgetful. I tuned out for most of the movie. The relationship between Allison and Corey was not convincing, and it felt forced. It also came out of nowhere. It also tried to, or having a message on the evil inside of a killer. I don't know what to make of this part in the movie. There are way better movies about psychology on serial killers. This one tried too hard, has no idea what the message is on serial killers. It's off balance. Better movies on serial killers are The Silence of the Lambs, M, Manhunter, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Copycat. I know about that movie, but I've never seen it. The part where Michael Myers kills the radio disc jockey and cuts his tongue is probably one of the grossest and creative kills in the series, but it does not save the movie. After Michael cuts the disc jockey's tongue, it spins around the record player. Weird. The showdown between Michael and Laurie was alright, but again, it was done so much better in H2O. This movie, Halloween 6, and Resurrection are the worst Halloween sequels in the series. For once, watching this movie made me wish I was watching a Halloween anthology movie over this stupid dumb Michael Myers Halloween movie. Or I could have been wasting my time watching something else over this movie. I wish I did not waste my money watching this in the movie theaters. Don't get me wrong, I had fun hanging out with my friends, but I wish we were watching a better movie. Despite this movie being added to my collection, Lord knows I'll ever go back to revisit this movie ever again. Unless I want to watch this movie for a bad movie night with friends, make fun of how bad this movie is, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. What I don't understand is how did this movie not do well? Yet what I've read from the Hollywood Report list, this movie made one of the best slashers of the decade. How is that possible? It does not make any sense. It just doesn't. Next thing you know, they'll put the 2019 Black Christmas as one of the best remakes. I don't think so. Not in my book. This movie was stupid, dumb, lame, and insult to Michael Myers. It was rushed, only made for a paycheck, just to wrap the series up. From start to finish, this movie made me cringe. I don't see how this Corey character is connected to all this. How it'll be a new Michael Myers. The movie tried too hard. This character Corey sucked. He came out of nowhere. Sometimes the movie does not feel like a Halloween movie with this Corey subplot. Again, was this supposed to be a different kind of slasher horror movie than the studio interfered, adding Michael Myers at the last minute? Who the heck knows? Michael Myers is barely in the movie that much. As much as I hate saying this, Michael Myers is kind of a wuss, weak, and a punching bag dummy. Throughout this video series, I mentioned how in my own opinion that Michael Myers cannot die, that he's invincible, he's a supernatural. But in this movie, he did not feel much like he was invincible in this movie like he was in the last two movies, where he was squashing heads like a balloon or a jelly donut. Was he still recovering from the townspeople that kicked his ass in the last movie? I know, again, I'm thinking too deep into that. Also, despite what we see how they kill Michael Myers, in my own opinion, Michael Myers is not dead. Remember, you can't kill the boogeyman. The next movie, Michael Myers in Space, or Michael Myers meets Jay and Silent Bob, the modern version of Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, or he fights Jason, Freddy, or Pinhead, or Chucky, whatever. But again, it will not happen anytime soon due to rights issues, and all the studios have to split the profits 50-50. Or heck, why not make a follow-up sequel to Halloween 4 with Daniel Harris coming back as Jamie Lloyd? Ignore Halloween 5 and 6, but I'm not holding my breath this idea will ever happen. 2 years ago, there was a podcast where Daniel Harris and Scout Taylor Compton talked about their experience meeting Jamie Lee Curtis. I won't say what happened. You can go on YouTube and look that podcast up. Some people said this movie tried to do something different with the franchise. I guess so, but it was not done as well the way I'd imagine it. Would I recommend this movie? Well, that depends. If you're a real die-hardcore Halloween Michael Myers fan like I am, then maybe. But if not, then skip this one because you'll be disappointed and say to yourself, what was the point of this movie? You remember the Billy Madison joke I used in my Halloween Resurrection video? Here it is again. What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. This movie does not feel like it fits in with the franchise. It does not have that feel of a Halloween Michael Myers movie. James Rolfe did a video on how to fix Halloween 6. It would not surprise there are YouTube videos on how to fix Halloween Ends. In my own opinion, one way I would have fixed this movie is, 1. Instead of Corey killing the kid Jeremy that he babysits, how about Corey finds Michael Myers killing Jeremy? Instead of being accused as a killer, he feels bad and guilty that he cannot save the little boy. But I'm not sure how that would work and make any sense. What the heck do I know? Despite what they said about this one being the last one, again, I'm not falling for that. For now, they'll probably give it a break. But like I said in my Halloween 3 video, they could possibly go back to the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch anthology route. Well, that wraps up the Halloween franchise. Tomorrow we're heading to Camp Crystal Lake.